So let me ask you something. Is your training kind of like climbing a staircase where you're just taking the same step over and over again? Well, today we're going to talk about a totally different way to train, riding the wave. If you feel like you've been stuck, this explainer is for you. We're going to show you a much more dynamic way to move forward. Does this sound familiar? I mean, you're putting in the miles, you're sticking to your plan, but nothing. The results just aren't showing up. You've officially hit that dreaded training plateau. And trust me, it's one of the most frustrating things any runner can go through. See, the thing is, the problem probably isn't your effort. It's your training structure. Most of those old school plans, they're like that staircase we talked about. Super rigid, totally predictable, and eventually, you just hit a landing and stop climbing. So we're going to look at a completely different model, the wave. It's dynamic, it's full of variety, and honestly, it's the real key to adapting and improving nonstop. All right, so to really get this wave thing, we've got to cover a few key ideas. I know, the science can sound super complicated, but don't worry, we're going to strip away all the jargon and get right to the simple, powerful concepts that actually matter. Okay, first term on the list, daily undulating periodization, or DUP. Yeah, I know, big fancy name, but don't let it scare you off. It's actually super simple. All it means is that your training focus changes with every single session. So one day you're doing speed, the next day is endurance, then maybe recovery. You're basically just switching up your workouts every day. It keeps things fresh and way more motivating. But wait, we can take DUP and make it even smarter. That's where flexible nonlinear periodization comes in. Think of it like this. You get a menu of different workouts for the week. You still get all that awesome variety, but you get to choose which workout to do based on how you actually feel that day. It puts you in the driver's seat. So what holds all this variety together? It's something called a microcycle. Again, just a fancy word. For most of us, it's just our 7-day training week. But in a nonlinear plan, that one single week, that one package, contains the entire spectrum of training you need. And that brings us to the real secret sauce here, training stimulus variety. By constantly changing the type of stress you're putting on your body, you never let it get comfortable. That's the key. This variety is what forces your body to keep adapting, keep guessing, and keep getting stronger. Okay, theory is great and all, but what does this actually look like in the real world? On a calendar? Let's dive in and see how all these concepts come together in a training week for, say, a half marathon runner. Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got the old way, that classic linear base building week. See how boring it is? It's almost all zone 2, just the same thing day after day. But now look at the right. The nonlinear week is a completely different universe. Every single day has a unique mission, from recovery all the way up to pure power. Let's zoom in a little bit. So on Tuesday, you might be working on your lactate threshold. Then come Thursday, boom, you're hitting VO2 max with some tough hill repeats. And Saturday, that's your long run, all about building pure endurance. You see, every workout is intentionally chosen to hit a totally different energy system. And the result of all this? In just one 7-day week, you're actively developing 4, count 'em, 4 distinct parts of your fitness. And what that does is it stops any one area, like your speed, from getting worse while you're busy focusing on something else. You're literally building everything at the same time. This quote just sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? In 1 week, you're hitting top-end power, sustained speed, pure endurance, and efficiency. You're not just slogging through base miles, you're building all the skills of a complete runner every single week. It's a truly holistic way to think about your fitness. So, the big question is, why does this work so much better than the old school way? Well, the answer is pretty cool, and it's all about the science of how our bodies adapt to stress. So here's the fundamental problem with doing the same thing over and over. Your body's smart. When it gets the same training stress again and again, it adapts, and then it just stops. It's a principle called accommodation, and it's literally the biological reason we hit plateaus. Your body has basically figured out the puzzle you've given it, and it's not even a challenge anymore. And right here, this is the solution. By constantly changing the stimulus, giving it a new puzzle to solve every day, you never give your body a chance to get lazy and accommodate. You force it to keep making new adaptations, and that's what leads to that continuous, upward, wave-like progress that we're all chasing. Now, it's really important to get this straight. This isn't about chaos. It's not just doing random workouts for the sake of it. This is organized variety. There's a very clear, purposeful structure behind it all. It's a highly organized system designed for one single thing, making sure you consistently improve. And hey, this isn't just some new fad or trend that's going to disappear next year. The ideas we're talking about today, they're backed by decades of serious sports science research. It's been proven again and again to be incredibly effective for building strength, power, and endurance. So, is this for you? Who does this really benefit the most? Let's take a look at a few different types of runners, see if you recognize yourself in any of these. Now, this approach might not be for absolutely everyone, but for some people, it is a total game changer. First up, we've got the year-round racer. You know this person. They love to compete. 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons all year long. For them, this model is perfect. A traditional plan makes you slow way down for a base phase, right? But with nonlinear training, you never lose that top-end speed. You're always sharp and basically ready to race whenever you want. Next, there's the busy professional. If your life is just unpredictable, the flexible version of this training is an absolute lifesaver. You had a terrible night's sleep or a crazy day at work? No problem. Just swap that really hard interval session for an easy run. You're not derailing your whole week. It takes away all that stress and guilt of a rigid plan. And finally, maybe this is you, the plateaued runner. If you feel like you have been stuck at the exact same pace, the same performance level for months, maybe even years, the huge change in stimulus you get from a non-linear plan can be the jolt, the shock to the system that your body needs to finally break through that wall and start improving again. When you boil it all down, this is the core idea. To be a good runner today, you need to be fast, strong, and have endurance, all at the same time, not one after the other. This training model gets that. It builds all of those qualities together, making you a much more resilient, well-rounded athlete. All right, so now you know the what and the why behind nonlinear training. But what about the how? How do you actually do this? Well, you're going to want to join us next time because we're going to walk you through step by step how to take these ideas and build your very own nonlinear training plan. You won't want to miss it. See you then.